to start off with you. Aaron Rodgers has not signed an extension in Green Bay yet, and they only signed one free agent. I think they signed Kevin King back and Mercedes Lewis and Aaron Jones. That's it, which I thought they were going to extend Rodgers and sign like a bunch of free agents. That's what I thought. I'm dead serious. I was like, okay, So, Mo, I'm going to ask you this. Do the Packers work out an extension with Rodgers, or do they look elsewhere in the near future?
I'm thinking, man, it's bad. It's bad because what I'm looking at now is, y'all can tell me if you think I'm tripping. I'm seeing complacency. I'm seeing like we're good with what we've done over the last couple of years. Because I understand you. Here we go again. You sat there. You didn't make a lot of moves in all season, right? You went to the NFC Championship game. You went to the NFC Championship game. You didn't make a lot of moves. You drafted questionable with the quarterback, and then you went 13-3 again and went to the NFC Championship game. And both times you went there, you pretty much been outplayed. Both times they went there, they pretty much was outplayed, right?
Yeah.
We can say for the most part, you was outplayed.
Yeah.
So And you looked outgunned. So now here you go again. You've made no moves to try to improve, to try to show that can we get over this hump. You pretty much staying pat. Oh, we'll just better our players that we have here and hope we will win a Super. No, not when you got an Aaron Rodgers sitting there at 36 years old, 35 years old, ready to win right now, who's on his last leg. You can't think like that. So really, if I'm Aaron Rodgers, I'm taking this slap in the face. Like, are you serious? Like, here it is. We done went 13-3, went to the NFC Championship game 2 years in a row, and they're outplayed. And we're not making no moves. We're just sitting here trying to stay pat. So if I'm Aaron Rodgers, I'm almost looking like you trying to push me out the door. You trying to push me out the door to get ready for the dude love. That's how I would feel. That's me. That's how I would feel personally if I was him.
Okay, cool. What do you think? Green Bay Packers did work out an extension. Do they? What's going on? Is Aaron Rodgers in their future plans?
Depends on what you mean by future. He's got 3 more years left on his deal. He's not going anywhere this year. And he's not going anywhere next year, I don't think, because they'd have $17 million in dead cap space next year, cutting him. But you get into the final year of his contract, he'll be pushing 40. Only it'd be less than $3 million in dead cap space that they'd have if they cut him at that point. You would have a former first-round pick quarterback going into year 3 at that point, or going into year 4 at that point. So I think that'll be the time that they have to pull the trigger. And no matter what level Aaron Rodgers is playing at that point, you've got to find out what you have in Jordan Love. And you can't let him sit for 5 years, have his rookie contract expire, and have no idea what you have, and then have to pay the guy still. So I would imagine Rodgers isn't wanting to do anything to make things easier on the front office after just drafting his replacement a year ago instead of drafting him help. That could have come in handy when they were in the NFC Championship game. But I think he's there at least this year or next year. But future is relative, especially for a 38-year-old player. But I don't, beyond next season, I don't know that Rodgers is a Packer still.
I don't see him getting extended. Piggyback on what both Mo and Corey said, like, the Packers are in a position where they're ready to win now. 13-3 the last 2 years, home field advantage this year, and obviously they didn't get it done. I think they could have won, but had a couple of miscues and things like that, so they didn't win. So now you look at it coming in this year, and then the offseason happens. You see some decent wide receivers out there, Juju, Galladay, Fuller, who I thought was going.
Yeah, me too.
And he didn't. He goes to Miami instead. Like, I thought they were going to get him some help. And like Corey said, I think the Packers are just like, we'll just run it back. Like, we went 13-3 last year. We went 13-3 the year before. Why can't we go 13-3 again this year, or 12-4, or whatever the case may be? And I think they're just ready to stick with what they got and see exactly what happens coming up. And saying, kind of going with what Corey said, I just think in 3 years he's 37. He'll be close to 40 or 40. I think his birthday's in December. But yeah, he'll be 40. And it's just, you think he's gonna be Tom Brady going into his 40s and still playing like a Hall of Famer or still playing like an MVP? I think the Packers are betting that's not gonna happen. And if I was Aaron Rodgers, I wouldn't even. Obviously, you don't feel welcome. You don't feel like you're wanted or you're needed there. So I would just ball out, do what I've normally been doing, try to win, and then see what happens. Like I just don't. And like I said, I'm just going to get re-signed. So if he still feels like he can play, go somewhere else and ball out, and then play for another team. It didn't happen with Brett Favre. At least when I was young, I thought Brett Favre was going to be a Packer for life, and then it happened, forced him out pretty much. So he goes and he plays well in Minnesota, and he gets to an NFC Championship game. So the same thing can happen for Aaron Rodgers. I just think the age is gonna probably be a factor, regardless of what he does the next couple of years. He was MVP this year. So even what he does the next couple of years, like I just don't know. And then what Corey was saying, like they had to see exactly what Jordan Love can do. They don't just pick him in the first round, and even though he was late pick, you don't pick him in the first round and just leave him on the bench for X amount of years, and then maybe make a trade because you re-sign Aaron Rodgers. Like I think they want to see exactly what this kid can do, and he's the future going forward, at least on paper, relatively. He's the future going forward for Green Bay, and like they have to figure out what they want to do because they're not surrounding Aaron Rodgers with any weapons, but they're also like if Aaron Rodgers gets hurt, Jordan Love comes in, they don't have any really weapons for him. What's the point of not signing anybody? Because anybody can get hurt at any point in time. Aaron Rodgers has been hurt before, and you know what I'm saying? So why not just go out and try to at least make I don't even know if they made any attempts to sign any wide receivers. Maybe they did. I have no clue. Maybe they can get Tony from Florida to fall to them. I doubt it. I think he's probably going to go in the top 20s, late teens. But he's a decent wide receiver. Maybe they can find somebody in the draft. I don't know, man. But they really have to think about the future of the actual team and not just trying to maybe push Aaron Rodgers out or make him feel a certain way. But like it's difficult to watch because seeing one of the best quarterbacks of all time have to pretty much go out and do everything with no. Imagine if you had another wide receiver. You never know. Like maybe they win last year.
I kind of agree with everybody. And okay, number one is you're right. They traded up to get him as well. Number one, they traded up. And listen, the NFL. I feel like the NFL is a league of what have you done to me lately. And remember, they tried to trade Tom Brady. Belichick wanted to trade Tom Brady and have Garoppolo start. And I feel like Tom was maybe around this age. Maybe around 2017, maybe. I just think they're like, all right, Aaron, you're gonna play out. And they let their start center go too. They're basically like win because at this point, we're gonna go with Jordan Love. It's only at this point he has to know there is only his time is limited in Green Bay. He's not gonna play his last game in Green Bay. Because he's already came out and said he wants to play in his 40s. He's already said that. He was like, I want to play into my 40s. Saying that, they draft the quarterback first round. And then we get to the championship game. You don't give me any receiver help. Maybe they draft it, but it looks like they're going to go offensive line now. But, oh, man, you don't draft the receiver. They could have got Will Fuller. They could have got Juju, they could have got a lot of people. That's what, it just doesn't. They only signed Aaron Jones and they let their starting center go. I was just expecting them to be more present in free agency.
And that's the thing. It's not only did they not get one of those guys, I didn't even ever hear the Packers' name associated as being involved.
Nope, that was crazy. They're like, so we're okay. Yeah. At this point, like Mo says, the slap in the face. They're literally like, you're gonna play. You even listen. We're gonna go with Jordan Love.
And hold up, even defensively, it was some linebackers, edge rushers. It was some pieces out there for you to get that upgrade from what you had.
Nobody.
So for you not to do nothing, it's saying we're content with whatever we're gonna do right now and let's live with it. So I think, and like you said, and like y'all said, it doesn't make sense if Aaron Rodgers told you he want to play till 40, and you.
I think he said well into his 40s.
Right.
He's gonna play well into his 40s.
So think about it. He said that before you drafted this quarterback. So let's just say, for an instance, you keep Aaron Rodgers past it. Are you really gonna let a first round quarterback sit there past his rookie contract and he never played a game, and they never started the game unless Rodgers get hurt? Who gonna do that?
Nope.
Where they do that at?